Hey guys, Trevor and Chad with Shadow Systems. It's Technical Tuesday, except actually it's Wednesday. But I still feel pretty good that we're doing this because we've missed, I don't know, maybe 150 Technical Tuesdays since the last time we did one.
Right around there.
Right
it's been
around
a few
there.
weeks.
So yeah, we have some catching up to do. So at least we're doing it. We're just kind of a day off schedule this week. So today we're going to talk about the gun that's kind of now making its way into the market, the 920L. And L stands for
long.
So it is a little longer. Right. So Chad, tell us why the 920L is cool.
So the L is really fun. It really is a gun that hadn't been in the market until we brought it out on the 918L last year. So you still get the concealability, because this is the part we're worried about when we're trying to conceal, right? That's the dimension that's hard to conceal.
The grip.
The grip. But you get a long sight radius, which a lot of folks wanted. So you get a 4.5-inch barrel as opposed to a 4-inch barrel, on the combat with that longer sight radius. So it's
with the MR 920, with the regular 920.
With the regular MR920.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of folks wanted. They wanted something that's a little easier, maybe a little flatter shooting, but you get that long sight radius. Yeah. It's a fun gun to shoot. It's super flat shooting, incredibly easy to manage the recoil on, and
let's talk about sight radius for a minute. Okay, so the intrinsic accuracy of any pistol or any rifle really is fundamentally the mechanical ability of that gun to put round after round after round in the same hole. Okay, so we'll use a snub-nose revolver as an example. A snub-nose revolver actually has a very high degree of mechanical accuracy because the barrel's this long. So there's not a lot of flex in the system, and theoretically, if you could consistently aim a snub-nose revolver, you could shoot great groups at 100 yards with it, theoretically, right? Because it has a high degree of intrinsic accuracy. The system is very rigid, and the parts line up the same way every time. So our pistols all have a high degree of that intrinsic mechanical accuracy. The parts fit tight, they go back into battery kind of the same way, and they're both capable of shooting good groups. But when somebody picks up a gun that has a longer sight radius like this one, all of a sudden they start shooting a little more accurately and a little better and sometimes faster. And the reason is the distance between the front sight and the rear sight, right? That kind of creates the shooter's, or I should say, that creates the angle of departure for the round. So if I have a certain amount of error, let's say that the front sight is 20% of the way to the right, it's off center to the right a little bit on this gun, and it's the same kind of 20% of the way off to the right, misaligned on the shorter gun, the round is going to deflect off the target further. It's going to be less accurate with the short sight radius, because a little change here is a big change out there versus a little change here is maybe less of a change out there. So tell us a little about your experience of shooting this, or what you've heard guys that have tried this gun out.
Yeah, so it's been fun because it's kind of the unicorn out there, right? There's not a lot of the 920Ls out in the market. They're getting more and more every week, but the guys that are getting it are really amazed that it has all the ergonomics that the regular 920s have.
Yeah, they feel great.
But they just could not believe that extra half-inch of slide and barrel made such a difference. How easy it is. There's a little more mass on it. It just settles right back into place every single time. We're seeing some guys starting to put it into competition and other use.
It is approved for USPSA.
Yep. So they're truly amazing. And even us, like, as we've shot this, we're like, we couldn't believe the difference as we tested this out. We're like, holy cow, this gun is, it's like becoming, I know we've talked about this in-house a lot, like, this is our favorite gun.
This is kind of our favorite.
This is our favorite thing.
Yeah,
and
this is kind of our favorite.
It's a ton of fun to shoot. It's optics cut, and obviously that changes it a little bit. Maybe negate some of that action. But when you're shooting true iron sights on this thing, hands down, this is my favorite gun of ours that we're making right now to go out and shoot. It's just, and it feels so good.
What Chad was, by the way, referencing on the optic comment was, when we talk about the shootability that's improved with a longer sight radius and a longer system like this. We're really talking about in the iron sight application.
Yeah.
So if you are an optic user, right, everything that's happening with how the gun is being aimed, so to speak, is happening in one plane with that laser emitting onto that window. Okay, so the advantage gained by a longer sight radius is only really if you're using sights.
Right.
Okay, so if you're a red dot shooter, then you may not find that there's going to be a difference from an accuracy perspective, shot to shot consistency, maybe not. What there will be though is less recoil. So the gun is designed and weighted and configured and sprung to settle back on the target super quick. And of course, as everyone knows, we use that nice green, bright front sight, which tends to be really easy to track. So this is a shooter's gun, really mostly for an iron sight kind of guy. And there's one other comment. This is the kind of running joke is, I'll reference Glock for a moment, right? So Glock came out with the 19X, okay? And one of the jokes at the time was like, okay, cool gun, but you kind of went the wrong direction, right?
It's opposite of
it's
what
the
it
opposite of maybe what you should have done. You had a long grip, okay, but you have a shorter sight radius. What's the application of that? I mean, there's some, there's been conversation around like you're drawing from
under body armor,
a shorter gun is easier to get out, or if I'm, in a vehicle trying to work around a steering wheel, maybe a shorter gun is better. But really, this one is the one where you get kind of the real advantage. You get the shorter grip that's easy to conceal, and then you get the longer sight radius that helps you shoot accurately, and you get a little more balance and shot-to-shot recovery with the longer slide.
And I think that's the thing. The shot-to-shot recovery is so key, and because more and more folks, myself included, running red dot on a lot of stuff. So having that quicker shot-to-shot recovery, the less, little less muzzle rise is really fun on that 920L. And I've actually been really surprised, Trevor, that the amount of interest this is starting to get even from law enforcement officers, because they're like, this is exactly what I wanted. And so really wasn't a market we had intended that particular model to go, but it's actually, seemingly getting a lot of play and interest there. So
So the frame, by the way, just so everybody knows, the frame is absolutely identical to the MR920. So they're both 15+1, okay? They're both designed to fit holsters that would accommodate a Glock handgun. So the 920L is going to work in a 17 size holster, okay? And as far as the grip, frankly, I think that a 19 size grip or 920 MR size grip fits my hand a little better than a 17 or long extended type grip does. So I like putting the magazine well on the gun. So this is the magazine well that comes with both of these guns, and of course it just drops right onto the frame. It's all part of the kit. And when you put that on a gun like this, you get your hand really kind of cinches in against that recurve at the bottom. And so I feel like actually I have more control with a 920L with a magwell on it than I would with a full-size gun, because I really like that little curve down at the bottom that kind of cinches my hand into place. So
it just it forces it up so nicely into that trigger guard area
and into the beaver tail. Anyway, so all right, well, that's the 920. That's kind of the why behind the 920. That's what it is. The L. The L. That's what it is. Good luck finding one right now. We realize that every gun company, Shadow included, is struggling to keep up with demand for kind of obvious reasons. But we're probably going to talk a little bit more about that in a future video. But for now, if you're interested in a gun that's kind of unique and has really great shooting characteristics, the 920L is definitely worth considering. So, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it. Bye.